Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, I am not driving to work currently because I wanted to try something a little bit different today. For those of you who aren't aware, I'm a hospital security officer. I've told some hospital stories before, and I wanted to tell another hospital story today. But unlike I usually speak, which is, extemporaneously just kind of telling you the story as I remember it, I decided, hey, it might be kind of fun to read you an actual security incident report. Of course, a real report has a lot of identifying details and stuff. I've had to change some of those details. I can tell you, for example, none of the names that I'm going to say are real names. A few other details that might be identifying have been changed. But overall, what actually happens is real. So hopefully this is something that you find interesting. If so, definitely let me know in the comments, and let's give this a shot. So here we go. On the date listed at about 12:12, Officer Johnson, not me, a different officer, received a call from dispatch regarding a suspicious male in the gift shop. As all other officers were on calls at the time, I accompanied Officer Johnson and we headed towards the gift shop via the main hallway on the first floor. En route, we received a description of the subject as a white male wearing a blue jacket and wearing a hood. We were northbound, having just passed by the west elevator lobby, when we saw a subject fitting the description who passed us walking towards that elevator lobby. We made contact with the subject, who I now know as Kyle Wainwright, in the west elevator lobby, where I informed him that the gift shop staff thought he may have taken some items. Wainwright denied this, but agreed to accompany us back to the gift shop while we investigated the complaint. Upon arriving at the gift shop, Officer Johnson remained in the hallway with the subject while I contacted gift shop staff. Employee Zoe Nelson stated that she observed the subject take a back scratcher from the shelf, walk around the corner, and suddenly no longer have it in his hands. Very suspicious. She searched the area but was unable to find the merchandise. Staff member Riley McGill recognized the individual from a previous incident when she believed he had taken merchandise. She therefore called security for assistance. I then returned to the hallway and asked Wainwright again if he had taken any items. He again denied having taken anything. I asked Wainwright if I could pat him down and search his pockets. Wainwright consented, and Officer Johnson witnessed this consent. I began patting down the subject's pockets and soon found an unusually shaped object in the right front pocket of his sweater. I removed the item when I realized that it was a candle holder made to look like a stone with the word positivity written on it. That is a true detail, by the way. The item also bore a price tag consistent with the type used in the gift shop. I asked Wainwright if he had paid for the item, and he admitted that he had not. I continued my search and found another item located in Wainwright's front right jeans pocket. This item was shaped like a dragonfly and is apparently intended to be placed on a screen door. Also a true detail. This item too bore a price tag consistent with the gift shop tag. I continued my search, patting down pockets on the subject's right leg of the type often seen on carpenter jeans. I felt an item in these pockets and pulled the item out, finding it to be a capped hypodermic needle. I started to hand the item to Officer Johnson, as I had with previous items, when the subject attempted to grab the needle back from me. I determined this action was very unsafe, as it could have caused Officer Johnson or me to be exposed to bloodborne pathogens. This is when I kind of lose my sense of humor about the whole thing. For officer safety and having more than enough probable cause for an arrest, I stopped my search at this time and placed Wainwright in handcuffs. He complied with the handcuffing, and I requested Officer Johnson to inform Supervisor Watt, the supervisor on duty, that we had an individual in our custody, which he did via phone. At 12:22, I called the local police department via phone, requesting an officer to attend. Wainwright was very upset when he was informed that police were en route, but that did not cause any further problems. Officer Johnson cleared at about this time to attend another call. At approximately 12:45, Officer Antonio Mathis of the St. Cloud Police Department arrived at the hospital. I delivered the subject into the officer's custody at this time pursuant to Minnesota Statute 629.39. I explained the situation to Officer Mathis, and he completed the search of Wainwright's person, finding one additional stolen item, a telescopic back scratcher. Then I go into all the price and what everything's worth, blah, blah, blah. Officer Mathis also discovered that the individual was wearing an EEG device, the return of which turned out to be the reason that Wainwright was at the hospital. Officer Mathis informed Wainwright that he would be receiving 2 citations and would then be released. I advised Officer Mathis that I would like to serve a trespass warning on Wainwright. Officer Mathis requested that I have the gift shop produce a void receipt detailing the cost of each item. Officer Mathis escorted Wainwright to the patrol vehicle where he processed the citations, at which time I procured the requested receipt from gift shop staff. A photo of this receipt is attached. I don't have that photo. Blah, blah, blah. I filled out our trespass form before serving it upon Wainwright. Officer Johnson witnessed the trespass warning. A copy of the trespass form and an image of Wainwright are attached to this report. Officer Mathis provided an ICR of incident report number. I don't have that number either. I requested that I email him this report. As Wainwright was at the hospital to return hospital property, I requested Supervisor Watt's guidance. I didn't really want to let the guy back in the building, but also he had our stuff. Supervisor Watt advised that Officer Johnson and I should escort Wainwright to the appropriate clinic and have them recover the device from the subject. We did as advised and escorted Wainwright to the neurodiagnostic clinic where the device was removed before escorting him back to the entrance where his ride was waiting. Wainwright was advised that should he require a follow-up appointment at the hospital, he should contact security prior to returning to the hospital. He then departed from the property without further incident, and I cleared at 13:35. Well, it's kind of a bizarre story, and I know a lot of you are like, why did he steal that crap? And it's kind of one of those things that you learn about people, and I'm not going to make a diagnosis here, I'm just going to go off of my experience. But people that have addictions to various substances often make choices like that. And I know a lot of people are already aware that, addicted people often steal, but they steal valuable things because you can sell it and then get drugs. That makes sense. But why would this guy steal a freaking back scratcher and a dragonfly thing you put on your door? And with certain types of drugs, in my experience, it's a lot of, opiates, heroin, that type of thing. People steal random crap, and I have no idea why, but that's consistent with what, I found a hypodermic needle on this guy, and he was just stealing, like, not worthless stuff, but I think the total of what he took came out to like $30. And what are you going to do with that? Even if you go sell it, you're going to get $5 or $10 for it, and you're not going to get a lot of heroin out of it. So you encounter these kind of bizarre behaviors from folks like that. And that's kind of one of the things that I think is really interesting about these stories is you get to learn about things that don't necessarily make logical sense, but are consistent experiences with specific types of people. Anyhow, I hope that was interesting. I really liked the idea of sharing an actual report. It shows kind of what I do. It shows what I've experienced. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Maybe I'll do another one just like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, like. If you really like the video, subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.